youngster has so far claimed 2 lives.
Unfortunate. When the country faces a threat, we expect all political parties to leave politics aside. Any opportunity be our fast and look for political advantage. It doesn't make sense.
Meanwhile, NDC members of parliament in the Volta region have been meeting with the regional minister and demanding the arrest and prosecution of those behind the attacks.
Unfortunate. When the country faces.
Also tonight, we'll hear from the Vice President as he's been interacting on our sister station, Asempa FM. He's justifying the rise in debt stock under Akufo-Addo's administration. He says government has a lot to show for the massive borrowing.
We know why it has gone up, and so we know how to bring it back down. We don't have a choice. We have to pay people their deposits, right? You can say the debt to GDP ratio will go up as a result. That is fine.
Pure wickedness and witchcraft. Words of NDC flag bearer John Mahama as he accuses Akufo-Addo of abandoning educational projects started under his tenure. Also tonight, cleaner the residence of deceased law professor Yao Bene confesses his involvement in the murder of the late academic. More from the state prosecutor as a fresh arrest is made with a manhunt for 2 others underway.
And in business, Finance Minister Ken Ofeata promises to abide by concerns raised by Special Prosecutor only if he is formally notified.
In sports tonight,
Kumasi Asante Kotoko say their entire playing body and technical team have been cleared to begin training after undergoing mandatory coronavirus tests yesterday ahead of the new Ghana Premier League season. We hear from them when I join you much later with sports.
Later in the bulletin, Kumasi Academy National Science and Maths Quiz contestants who handed Infantipim School a crashing defeat at the 1/8 stage of the NSMQ say they had no fears and were confident of victory prior to the contest. You want to stay with us for that and more here on Newsnight. Send me a WhatsApp 055 1111 997. Well, there's been urgent calls for government to do more to deal with the secessionist threat in the Volta region. Well, tonight the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has been disclosing details of a presidential directive for the deployment of additional security resources to the region. 2 people have so far been killed after secessionists seeking to break away from Ghana attacked several installations in the Volta region. Today, the Vice President shut the door firmly on any talk of opening dialogue with members of the group seeking to break away. Many security analysts have called for talks. Former Member of Parliament for Hohoe South, Koshi Kedem, has even sent a petition to the Council of State. Well, speaking on our sister station, Asempa FM, a short while ago, the Vice President was emphatic government will not dialogue with criminals.
I think all Ghanaians should be worried. All Ghanaians should be worried because we a very peaceful nation. In fact, the most peaceful nation in West Africa on the Global Peace Index. And we've been independent since 1957. And generally, Ghana has not been a place where you would find these sorts of issues coming up. Well, but recently, you've heard people talking about, say, Ghana is not truly Ghana, and we should. Say we should, and I want to understand where they are. That's why I think this gets criminal, because the history doesn't support Ansema Omokano. where is this figment of Western Togoland? Where is it? Is it Ho? Is it Ho? Oh, and yes, suspicion. Okay. Is it Ho, or some people in Ho, or some people in Kando or Peve? Where? So you just want to carve out Ho out of Ghana or Peve out of Ghana and make it a country? Because it's a figment of the entry. Because there is no legal basis for those
for those demands.
Yeah, there's no legal basis. So Usha is criminal, and so Ghana must come together. We are one country. This is not a political party matter. We are one country. We are different peoples in one country, and the land of Ghana is determined. There's no issue about losing 1 inch of the land of Ghana. Across, it's already determined. So there is a clear situation that we have, and some criminals are trying to misrepresent history and engage in criminal activity. And so what you are seeing, the attacks you're seeing, are nothing but criminal activity. And from that point of view, all of us should be worried, and we should do everything, and we will do everything that we can to
security analyst Biaka said this is a failure. The leadership of this country have failed to protect the Ghanaian people as far as this issue is concerned.
Well, I think that, from where I sit, I know that the security agencies are doing a lot. It's not everything that we can say on air. Okay. But I am very confident and comfortable with the work and the reports that the security agencies have. In fact, they foiled things that could have been worse already. And we are we cannot, it's not everything that we can come out can say, but but we need to support them more.
Reactive.
If somebody plans to attack a bus and you are not aware of it, you don't get the intelligence in time. Before you know it, they've attacked the bus. But I think there's been some good intelligence work taking place, and we've seen some work. We're going to have to even double and triple the effort. But we've invested a lot in the security services since we came into office. And they've done quite a bit, both the police and the army, in terms of vehicles, in terms of ammunition, in terms of conditions of service. And so morale generally is very high. We've invested in a lot of intelligence equipment and so on. And so we're going to have to do more, because it's a live situation that we are dealing with now on a minute by minute basis, and they are deploying the resources as we speak into these areas. So we're going to continue to do well, and I know that the directions of the president are quite clear in terms of dealing with this, and the military, police, national security, they are all focused on this matter now.
Well, he also condemned attempts to politicize the secessionist agenda.
The grand criminal collusion between the Electoral Commission, the National Identification Authority, and the ruling New Patriotic Party to disenfranchise over 10 million eligible.
Apologies for that. We'll bring you that Vice President's clip shortly when he spoke on Asempa a short while ago. We'll also hear from the Volta region tonight, because the NDC members of Parliament in the Volta region, they've been meeting the Regional Security Council, the chairman of the Regional Security Council, the regional minister, today on the back of the violence that we've seen in the region since Friday. We're getting word that they've been given assurances that they are happy with, and they've made demands for the arrest to be made of the individuals who have been caught in the violence in that part of the Volta region. I want to go live now to the regional minister who's joined us on the telephone line, Dr. Archibald Letcher. Thank you, sir, for your time here on Newsnight. This meeting, why was it called?
Thank you very much, Evans. You know, we've had very worrying developments in the southern parts of the region, and we have many stakeholders who will have to be consulted on the way forward. And we've had statements being issued by chiefs from all over the region. And this afternoon, I had the privilege of hosting the delegation from the Parliamentary Caucus, the voter caucus in Parliament. And we had very frank and fruitful discussions, very cordial discussions, and we all agreed that this is a security issue. We all have to join hands. We have to take politics out of it. We have to join hands and work together to ensure that the situation in the region is returned to normalcy. And once they are also on the campaign trail, I appeal to them to do a lot of sensitization of our people, especially the young people, about the fact that voter regime is part and parcel of Ghana, and there's no way anybody will be able to take a territory out of the republic and form another country. So these discussions went on, and they've assured me that they are behind every effort of government, and they encourage us to go ahead, to go on and make sure that all the perpetrators of these activities are arrested. They pledge support to the security agencies, and they also assured us of their cooperation in terms of intelligence and in terms of giving information to security agencies to make sure those who are responsible for these criminal activities are brought to book.
Thank you. Stay with me, Minister, Mr. Lecha. Also joining me right now is the Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Kujuta Blakwa, who was in the meeting. Mr. Blakwa, I'm grateful that you could join us here on Newsnight. Happy with the assurances you got today from the regional minister.
Yeah, thank you very much, Evans. I would say that it was a very fruitful and frank meeting. Deliberations were cordial. And as chairman of the Volta Regional Security Council, I think that the Honorable Minister responsible for the region acquitted himself convincingly. He did let us in on the work that is going on and how they are taking this threat seriously. We did express concern about the seeming failure of intelligence so far in not being ahead of these insurgents. They did indicate that they will work to improve that. The regional BNI director was in the meeting, and she indicated that they were doing their best to get on top of the situation and be ahead so far as intelligence gathering and intelligence analysis is concerned. The other matter that we were also concerned about is the response rate. Even when these attacks have been unleashed, and we asked for immediate response to quell the situation. It does appear sometimes that the response rate has been rather slow. The Honorable Regional Minister explained that they are slow sometimes for good reason, and that they do not want the casualty fallouts to be huge, and that sometimes if they are not careful and they rush to respond, many people could be caught in the milieu, and that the fatalities could be higher than anticipated. So I think that it was a frank meeting. It was open. We have assured them that even though the onus is on them as those who are in charge now of the national security apparatus, we as representatives of the people are committed to ensuring that this union is protected. We may have our challenges, but we should all work to perfect this union. We have assured them that we will work closely with them in a bipartisan way. We don't want anybody to think that there are any, if you like, sharp partisan divisions. This is not a time for partisan divisions. This is a time for all of us to come together and protect this union, protect our sovereignty, protect our territorial integrity, and we have conveyed that assurance, and it's been done in very good faith, with all the sincerity that you can find anywhere in the world, from the bottom of our hearts. And so I would say that it's a very good start. There is indication that on Friday we'll continue the talks, this time in a much bigger forum with the National Security Minister and other ministers joining us for the deliberations. And we have pledged our continual support. We will be in attendance, and we will do all that we can do as representatives of the people to help move this process forward, protect our region, and maintain the peace and tranquility of this very, very beautiful region, which is not known to have these disturbances at all.
Mr. Letcher, can I confirm the Friday meeting? Who is going to be in it, and what will be the agenda?
Yes, thank you, Evans. We want to continue with the stakeholder consultations. We may have some discussions with the chiefs. The RESEC will meet a representative from National Security, and again we'll be consulting the parliamentary caucus who will still be around for consultations, and they've gone to their constituencies. Well, hopefully by Friday at the next meeting they will give us more suggestions and more ideas, and maybe some more intelligence, and it's just a process of consultation. We will be going to the traditional areas to meet the chiefs and discuss issues with them, to explain to them what is going on, and the fact that this is a criminal offense, and everybody must come on board to help us to identify those responsible so that they can be brought to justice.
Okay. I mean, Mr. Blackwell, in terms of the security presence on the ground, we've heard from the Vice President today talking about a President's directive to devote more security resources to the Volta region. Is the caucus happy with the presence, the visibility of the security forces on the ground? Is that what you actually require also?
The visibility of the police and the military is obvious for all to see. We have also engaged with the commanders, the Joint Commander in Japan. We met with him yesterday. DSP Sakite, very fine professional. He engaged with us very well. We built to meet with those who are in charge of the Bator corridor a few minutes from now. I'm actually speaking to you from the home of the second person who died in this unfortunate Friday dawn attack. Indications are that the men in uniform mean well and are determined to maintain law and order. Our only reservation has been the excesses that have been reported to us, and we did raise this matter in our meeting earlier today, and when we met the commanders yesterday, we raised it with them, that it will be important that a fine balance is maintained between maintaining law and order and respecting the rights of our people. This should not degenerate into, if you like, human rights violations or disregarding the dignity of our constituents. So we are watching that closely, and we have made it clear that cannot be compromised at all. The other matter which I raised with the regional minister as well relates to the people who are being picked up. The 31 in Japan and the additional 4 from the Bator corridor. Indications are that some of them, indeed the majority, had nothing to do with this attack. They were just innocent bystanders. And the regional minister has assured that they will work expeditiously to have those who clearly have no link at all to these so-called secessionists, invaders, terrorists, or whoever they are, released so that they can return home to their families. So these are two key issues we are watching so far as the security deployment is concerned. One, let's make sure that rights are protected. Let's carry out these operations in a very decent way, that people are not harassed and and their dignity is not affronted. Number two, those who are being picked up, let's be sure that they indeed are linked. And as soon as it's determined that they are not linked in any way, let us release them to their families, so that, because you need to build confidence, you need the trust of the community to continue to provide information, intelligence that can lead to really honing in on those who are responsible. So if you don't get the community trust, and the community gets the impression that you are just out to just round all of them up without justification, it will undermine the entire process, and we don't want that.
Okay. I'm grateful that you joined us. Samuel Kuditu there, also the Volta Regional Minister, who also chairs the Regional Security Council, speaking to us about the meeting today. Well, today the Vice President has been speaking about about suggestions that what is happening in the Volta region is part of this plot to suppress votes in NDC strongholds. Listen to him.
We in Ghana need unity. This is not a partisan matter. We need unity across all regions, across all tribes, across all religions. We need to talk and provide necessary intelligence as and when it is available to the security services, so that we can act, so that we can protect our country. We are an envy in this part of the world, in Africa. Ghana, our democracy, our peace is the envy of Africa. And I think that we shouldn't allow a few criminals to come and jeopardize, because what they are looking for doesn't exist. It's a figment of their... In the
Abayinye opening put to say negotiations with Omo
with criminals. On what basis? Then it will be open to many things. Tomorrow it will be... Tomorrow you will go somewhere and some group will get up and say, the Northern Territories have to also be somewhere else, because we didn't... And then someone else will...
It's not going to happen. Negotiations will not happen.
With who? These criminals? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense, So what we need is intelligence, and we will try to deal with this.
The NDC's national chairman said, "We do not want to believe that the inaction of the President and National Security Council is deliberate and calculated at achieving a sinister political motive, including the suppression of votes in NDC strongholds. There is already sufficient apprehension caused by these events that suggest complicity of officialdom to cause fear and human insecurity in that part of the country. And that will be used as a justification for an intimidating security presence, the type of which was witnessed during the voter registration exercise only a few months ago." Reaction to it?
Well, unfortunate. When the country faces a threat, we expect all political parties to leave politics aside and protect the country. But any opportunity be our far now say politics and look for political advantage in that issue. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. We won an election in 2016. When they were in office, we didn't need to suppress votes in their strongholds. They were in office. Now you're winning election by over 1 million votes. Over 1 million votes. And in fact, if truth be told, I think that our performance in government has even put us in a better position than we were in 2016, as far as the politics is concerned. So there's no need to try to play games and try to suppress strongholds and so on. There is no need for that at all. So people should understand that we are all one country.
And that is Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia. And on to the election headquarters now, and of course today has been a busy day for all the main candidates in these elections. Even the PNC has been very busy today. More on them very shortly. John Mahama is busy campaigning. The president is also, the vice president has been campaigning in and around Greater Accra today. Elton, very quickly, you followed him today.
Right, Evans, and his presence at Asempa was part of the 2-day tour of the Greater Accra region. But before coming to Asempa, he had a walk from the Nima police station to the Kaukudi Park, where he addressed a number of chiefs and people from the Zongo community. The walk was part of activity to canvass votes for the MPP ahead of the elections. Remember that Ayawaso East has, since 1992, been the MPP has never won the seat. They are yet to win it. And Peter Mreku is a parliamentary candidate for the particular area. The vice president explained that they should look back 28 years ago when the country went to constitutional rule and what they've gained from their continuous, votes for the NDC as far as the parliamentary election is concerned, and that he is hoping that with the implementation of the Zongo Development Fund, the government social intervention program that they have rolled out, they should be measured by that as against what the NDC did for them whilst in government, and then vote accordingly, Evans.
Okay, so that is the vice president. Also, the flag bearer of the NDC, John Mahama, is tonight criticizing the MPP administration for abandoning education projects started under his tenure. According to him, the government has adopted that posture out of sheer wickedness and witchcraft. Speaking out of Deba in Kwantaso in Bono region, Mr. Mahama explained that the free SHS program is a laudable project, but its implementation has been abysmal.
Officials of the governing NPP have been spewing lies that when I'm voted into power, I will cancel the free SHS program. This claim is false. Free SHS is a good program. However, the way it's being implemented by the government is burdening parents as well as teachers. Free SHS was started under my tenure. Governance is wisdom and common sense. We suggested the construction of more buildings to accommodate the children. These E-blocks started under my regime have been abandoned by the current administration. If it's not sheer wickedness, these projects would have been continued by the government.
And so, General Mosquito Cairo, Achia Emui, Yabamo School,
So that is John Mahama there from the NDC campaign. Let's move back to the MPPs. The President Akufo-Addo, is still in the Ashanti region and has been making announcements on major infrastructure projects, mainly in the area of railway development that his government is about to undertake in a ceremony to cut short for the construction of a 6-kilometer railway line at Kase, the Ashanti region. The President indicated that the feasibility studies and preliminary design of a major railway project to connect the Ashanti region to the northern part of the country is ready.
I'm happy to hear the commitment of the contractor, David Walter, to completing the works on schedule and on budget. This is the kind of reassurance we need from every responsible contractor. Work is also progressing steadily on the Chamatu-Makadan line, which is the first phase of the Tema to Paga section of the Ghana-Burkina Railway Interconnectivity Project. This railway line has branch lines to Shani and upon Manso. The exploitation of the bauxite deposits at Etiwa as part of the nascent bauxite and aluminum industry will also benefit from the construction of a new railway line. At long last, the construction of the Buankra Inland Port is about to commence. Parliament has approved a 313 million facility for its development. This is significant because since 1995, we've been grappling with the development of the inland port. Its economic viability will be greatly enhanced by the presence of a railway line. I will have the honor and pleasure of cutting the sod for the commencement of works on the Buankra Inland Port in November, when the Korean partners of the project come together and thereby redeem the 30-year grant of land that is of such concern to Tofodia Santini. A new standard gauge railway line from Accra to Tema to Kumasi is a must, and I expect contracts to be signed for the commencement of the construction of a line from Accra to Tema towards Kumasi before the December election. As many of you may know, the country's railway network has never gone beyond Kumasi. That is why I'm happy to announce that the feasibility study and the preliminary design of a new standard gauge line from Eviabeng to Paga through Bichim, Sunyani, Techiman, then Tamale has been completed. Next week, final stakeholder consultations will commence, after which the processes for land acquisition will begin.
Well, to the PNC now, and their camp has been busy tonight. The Electoral Commission is in fact now set to declare a new flag bearer for the People's National Convention as the party wraps up its National Delegates Congress tonight. The Congress was also to elect its National Executive Officers to steer the affairs of the party. 30 aspirants are battling it out for 14 positions. Reverend Samuel J. Deborah Asaki, Samsing Awungubit, and David Apasera are contesting the flag bearer position. The National Delegates Congress is ongoing in all regional capitals as well. Listen to the national organizer of the party, Mark Awusi Ako, who ran unopposed.
We started in the morning, and as it stands now, ballots have been casted, counting are ongoing, and we are waiting on the Electoral Commission to do their collation and present to us those who won and those who didn't win. We are using this media to indicate to our people out there that we should calm tempers down. Results that have come from regions will be collated as I indicated. And at the end of time, we would know candidates who are your favorites that won and those who didn't win. In the meantime, we've had communications with the Electoral Commission and their coalition is ongoing. They have indicated that in the next 30 to 1 hour, they will get here and deliver to us the final results for the 2020 general election.
So we are waiting for the announcement from the PNC, who becomes their flag bearer for the 2020 elections, which is tonight, 69 days away. It's a race between three individuals: Reverend Samuel J. Deborah Asaki, Samsing Awingobit, and David Apasera. You want to stay with us, because immediately we hear that from the Electoral Commission, we'll bring that to you here on your election headquarters. Still ahead here on Newsnight, cleaner at the residence of deceased law professor Yarbene confesses his involvement in the murder of the late academic. More from the state prosecutor as a fresh arrest is made with a manhunt for two others underway. Also, later in the bulletin.
We'll win this contest. Bring the trophy home here. We are going to bring the trophy home here.
Vouloir c'est pouvoir, to wish is to be able. Vouloir c'est pouvoir, the motto of Kumasi Academy.
Well, they killed and slayed the giants. Kumasi Accra Academy, National Science and Maths Quiz contestants who handed the Fantapim School a crushing defeat at the 1-8 stage of the NSMQ, say they had no fears and were confident of victory. Prior to the contestants, the David and Goliath story will play out after George is done with business. George, you excited because what? Your
Oh no! I mean, if the Giants are falling, it actually clears the way for Presec to actually annex the title.
But who are you coming up against? I'm told tomorrow or Friday, correct?
I haven't checked it. So we're looking forward to see what will happen. I mean, when those who went to Augusto will sing that song of Kwa Boche Ware, and they'll continue that song for Evans. Well, coming up in business, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia justified the $263 billion debt and billion city debt as he attributed the huge spike to COVID-19 and the recent banking sector cleanup, but insisted government is managing to actually slow the rate of growth. And Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta promises to abide by concerns raised by Special Prosecutor only if he is formally notified. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all your office essentials. And First National Bank, we are the bank that understands your business. First National Bank, how can we help you?
Look at you, the big boss.
You know they hear.
You know they fear who?
Until somebody says, I will tell your mother.
That's why we say wear a mask, or else
we will call your mother.
Hey, why are you disgracing me? Why your mask?
Wear it for her. Wear it for me everywhere you go. MTN. Visit wearit4.me to send a message to someone.
We give you nothing but the best. We stay above the rest. More quality, more affordability. Kingdom Books and Stationery. Everybody's going to the one and only shop where customer satisfaction is a guarantee. Kingdom Books and Stationery.
Oh yes, with our 30 days credit facility with no interest charge, free delivery services, and our free consultation on setting up your office, Kingdom Books and Stationery is unmatched in our delivery of quality and affordable office essentials, equipment, and furniture.
Experience world-class customer service in all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Cape Coast, and Takoradi.
Call us on 0302-764-101
or visit our website at www.kingdomgh.com.
Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all office essentials and stationery. Terms and conditions apply.
We know it's important to create a productive and supportive working environment by investing in your employees' health. With a leading international track record, Apex Health Insurance is regulated and licensed by the National Health Insurance Authority to provide medical insurance services to institutional clients, families, and individuals. Apex Student Package and International Medical Solutions are all here to cushion you. Visit Apex Health Insurance Office at Zion House, Boundary Road, Shiashi, or call
0501-683-914
or 0232-000-015. In Kumasi, we are located opposite Prempeh College, Sofo Line, and in Takoradi, Apex Health, your preferred health insurer.
My guy, it's been a while.
My guy, I'm looking for a safe place in Ghana where I can invest after losing all that money last year. I know you are the investigation minister.
Currently, if you're looking for a safe and dependable fund manager, then it's EDCO. They are the investment banking subsidiary of EcoBank Group, and their fixed income unit trust is the biggest collective investment scheme right here in Ghana. It has generated returns above the treasury bill rate since its inception. You can access your funds anytime without penalties.
Hey, really?
Yes. Access their services at any EcoBank branch. Call 0302-634165 or WhatsApp them on 0595-235065. Also, you can conveniently fund your account using mobile money on all networks, internet banking, or EcoBank mobile app, and many more.
Thank you, Akwesi. I'll call them right away.
Hey, not even a bye-bye. With EDC, financial independence is possible. Terms and conditions apply.
Puma Drinks, ready to add flavor to your life? Puma Drinks, bursting with so many flavors, you just can't have enough.
My buddy, why you for just the watch when you can be wild proper? When you for scream, shout, she and kata, put your body, get down, fire your body, catch views, drop the mic. Ghana. The time catch where we for change the way we watch. Welcome to Showmax and to Chow Online Entertainment from movies and series to sports like EPL and La Liga. Feely from Super Sport and more. You feel enjoy them on any device, anytime. Visit showmax.com today. Men's lucky.
Super Hits Radio. Super Hits Radio.
Welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has justified the country's current debt stock level as he attributed the recent spike to banking sector cleanup and COVID-19. This follows criticisms about government handling of the debt stock after hitting 263 billion Ghana cedis ending July this year. But speaking on Asempa earlier to the Vice President insisted the government has been able to manage the situation better as well as slowing the rate of growth.
Yes, we are managing that debt much better. The debt stock has increased for a number of reasons. When the NDC left office, they had negotiated power purchase arrangements. 60% of what they had negotiated, we didn't need. So we were left with excess capacity charges, close to $1 billion a year for power we don't produce. Financial sector bailout has cost this country about 21 billion. Now we face the situation. Do you say you won't pay? Banks, savings and loans, microfinance, or do you pay? You don't have a choice. You pay the depositors. The debt stock, yes, in nominal terms has gone up. We are managing it very, very well. And the macro impact, what does it mean? Does it mean inflation has gone up? No, it doesn't mean inflation has gone up. In fact, inflation has been coming down. This year is the most amazing thing has happened, notwithstanding COVID and everything that this economy is going through as we handle COVID.
Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Now, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has indicated that he would work with the concerns raised by the Special Prosecutor on the Ejapa deal only if he is formally notified. The Special Prosecutor has directed the Finance Minister to hold the initial public offering process until some documents are actually produced. But speaking to journalists after signing of the agreement with the EU for budget support, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta indicated his commitment to actually abide by the law.
I haven't heard officially, from him on that. But we certainly are law-abiding. Whatever we have to do, we will do. But we are confident that it is the way to move. Well, that's the plan. So I stick to it until I can't move more. But expectation, I think it's an incredible period, the highest gold prices the world has ever seen. And so if you have that resource, what do you do with it? Do you bury it underground, or do you, use it for the benefit of our people? So we had a good presentation to the National House of Chiefs last Friday, just socializing the narrative so more people understand. But we will never do anything illegally, but we know it is the right way to go for Africa to open itself up to equity investors, which have a higher risk profile for that, and move away from the 70% debt that he's talking about.
And that's Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Now, Board Chairman of Cocoa Board, Hackman Owusu-Agyemang, says the cleanup of the banking sector puts local banks in the best position to pull off another annual, that is $1.3 billion cocoa loan syndication. Now, out of 28 international banks that provided the syndication, only 4 are local banks. Mr. Hackman Owusu-Agyemang believes that securing this loan locally may help actually ease its expenses.
I don't think we should be going out to look for that sort of money. We should be able to raise it from within the country. And we save here and not overseas. Now that the banks have been streamlined and made firm, they should be able, eventually, in the short and the immediate future, they should be able to syndicate 1.3 billion. It shouldn't be above us as the economy expands. We should be able to do that.
Board Chairman of Cocoa Board, Hackman Owusu-Agyemang. Now, marketing consultant Mauli Oklu is asking sales companies to incorporate key performers into their operations to help them meet their target. He made this while speaking on the last segment of the September edition of Masterclass on Joy FM today.
The key performance indicators for sales-wise important. Well, it's important simply because, one, it helps us in coaching, in decision-making, and crafting strategy. That's why these key performance indicators are basically the controllers is supposed to be used to calibrate, measurement of success, and as well to be able to find out what achievements people are making.
Maulio Klu is a marketing consultant speaking on the last segment of the September edition of Masterclass on Joy FM earlier today. Now, Standard Chartered Bank says its lending to manufacturing sector has resulted in some 2.8 billion cedis impact on the economy. It has also impacted on some 121,000 jobs in the country. This was contained in the bank's Impact Study report assessing how lending to infrastructure and manufacturing sectors has impacted the socio-economic sectors of the economy. Now, this lending actually was between 2009 to 2019. And that's all for business on Newsnight. It's back to events, some politics, and also the National Science and Maths Quiz.
Thank you very much, George. So, listening to Newsnight is on Joy 99.7 FM. I will be sharing your messages with you shortly here on the program. Keep them coming. 055 111 997, and I'll share with the rest of the world very shortly. Now, state prosecutors say a cleaner at the residence of deceased law professor Yao Bene has confessed his involvement in a gruesome murder. Now, 2 others are said to have been named as his accomplices as the state dropped the charge of murder against 3 others. The law lecturer was found dead in his Adrigono mansion with his hands tied behind his back and piece of cloth stuffed in his mouth. Court correspondent Joseph Akable was in court as 2 persons were remanded in police custody, and now reports.
4 persons were on September 16 charged with murder by state prosecutors. They are Isaac Butcher, a cleaner at the residence of the professor, Christian Pobi, another cleaner, Evans Mensah, a gardener, and James Nana Wamba, also a cleaner. State prosecutors on Wednesday informed the court their investigations have cleared Isaac Butcher, Christian Pobi, and Evans Mensah of any wrongdoing. James Nana Wamba, who served the professor as a cleaner, is said to have confessed his involvement in a murder, naming 3 others as his accomplices. This includes one Opambo Eja Bedu in Cancer, who has been arrested by the police. He was charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder together with James Wamba. Prosecutors requested a warrant for the arrest of 2 others whose names were not mentioned. It's not clear at this stage what the motive of the crime was. Prosecutors say investigations are still underway and efforts are being undertaken to apprehend the 2 others on the run. The 2 others who have been charged have been remanded into the custody of the police and are to reappear in court on October 14.
And my colleague Joseph filed that report. Now, the villagers of the Afram Plains village of Khlijiji have today seen solar electricity for the first time following a Joy News story highlighting how the only clinic in the village works without electricity. Former Shraj boards, Justice Emil Short and other donors have paid over 16,000 cedis, being the cost of the solar power for the clinic. They've also purchased a refrigerator where the clinic can store its medicines. Before now, Moses Ganke, the only nurse at the clinic, had to travel for 2 hours every day over the Afram River by canoe to the nearest community with power to store medicines in someone's home. My colleague Justice traveled to the community. This is his report.
It's the dead of the night in Khlijiji. Darkness everywhere, and here at the only clinic in the village too.
At least I have to cross the river 3 to 4 times every week, and sometimes I'm very tired, but I have no option to cross the river because if I don't do, the vaccines will spoil.
That was the voice of Moses Ganke, the only nurse in the clinic when we first came here this year. The story we told then touched heart and mind, and today change has come. With support from kind donors including former Shraj boss Emil Short, the clinic in Khlijiji now has solar power. In Khlijiji, Dancing to Bobobo songs is a fun way of keeping active and showing off culture. But today, their dance is to say Akpe. Thank you for turning the light on in this village's only clinic.
I'm acknowledging Joy News for them doing their best and then strongly helping when they came to this clinic. Seconds, then within a twinkle of an eye, they promise and then it happens.
Justice Baidu, Joy News, Hale Haji, in the Afram Plains.
Well, as I say, radio always gets results. A few of your messages, mainly on the secessionist threat in the Volta region. Ayu Farouk says the secessionist threat is a total failure on the part of government and the security. The incompetence of the security is too much nowadays, he says. Also joining us with his thoughts is Walanyo says the security personnel should be vigilant in order to stop the Western Togoland fighters. Eric Kwehu in Aflao centers that one. Samit says what benefit will be to the cleaner to bite the hand that was feeding him. Fear one who is closer to you. The law must deal ruthlessly with this cleaner and his conspirators. Sami in Kumasi centers that one. And a final one says when government deploy military personnel to Volta region and other border areas to protect life and property, NDC turn the whole security issues to tribalism and politics. What are they saying today? Politicization has become a norm. Indeed. A few of your thoughts on our WhatsApp platform. Well, today the National Democratic Congress is in court. I'm going to be bringing you details of what they are fighting for as they take the case to the High Court. The NDC has dragged the Electoral Commission to court hours before the mop-up of voter registration exercise gets underway. The party is seeking to halt the process on grounds it failed to publish and gazette a notice to the public and political parties 21 days in line with CI 91. Lawyers for the NDC are praying the High Court to place an injunction on the registration exercise to restrain the EC. Let's speak to a member of the NDC legal team, Abraham Amaliba, who joins us on the telephone line. Right, Mr. Amaliba, this process starts tomorrow. Why now?
Why now? Because it is clear that we had to do some search at the public, the name of that place, where they gazette the documents, the publishing corporation, and it took us some number of days to get responses from them. And so we decided to go to court, and our search revealed that the EC had failed to gazette the date. And we then felt that it was in breach with the CI 91, and so that's why we had to go to court this time.
Are you seeking to stop the EC from mopping up and registering people who, many of whom may have just managed to get into the country after the borders were open due to COVID-19?
It doesn't matter. Our elections is governed by law, and once the law does not permit what they are doing, in a democracy, you would have to rise up and stop the lawlessness. The EC knows very well that under the CI, whenever they are going to do any registration, they are required by law to gazette and give 21 days notice. They did that for the last mass registration that took place. That process has ended. We've even had exhibition which was done, I think, last week. And so that process has come to an end. If they intend to do another registration, they are required by law to come with a gazette. And so this is the reason why we were in court.
I mean, I've seen a report today making the rounds that Accra High Court today dismissed a suit by the NDC challenging the decision of the Electoral Commission to reopen the voters register for one day on October 1. Is that accurate?
No, there's a mix-up. Yesterday we filed an ex parte application for interim injunction. That was moved this morning. That is what has been dismissed because the court indicated that we should have given EC notice of our coming to court. we envisaged that already. So we are already prepared an interlocutory injunction, our application for an interlocutory injunction, so that if the court refuses the ex parte application, we'll quickly file it. So that's what happened. So immediately we left court, we filed the one on notice, which is an interlocutory injunction.
But the process tomorrow still goes ahead.
I think that my search or my information is that the Attorney General has been served. If the EC has also been served and they go ahead, nonetheless, to carry out the exercise, we will cite them for contempt.
Okay, I'm grateful. That's Amaliba. He's a member of the NDC legal team. Baba is joining me with the latest from the world of sports. Hello, Babs.
Hi, Evans. And the Ghana Premier League season, the new season, kicks off in 43 days. Now, in addition to all clubs meeting all club license and regulations, they must also adhere to and put all COVID-19 protocols in place ahead of kickoff. Some clubs have begun training in earnest, while others are fervently preparing to follow suit. Kumasi Asante Kotoko officially started training earlier today after subjecting their entire playing body and technical team to a mandatory coronavirus test each. Communications Director of the club, Moses Enchibenefu, spoke to Joy News' Oreku Ampofo and shared the following details with him.
This morning, we had the information from our medical team that almost everybody that took part in the exercise has tested negative. So all our players are free from COVID for now until we do the second COVID test, which is scheduled for Sunday. The one that was done yesterday, we will do another one on Sunday before we embark on a trip to Koforidua, where the team will be camped for a period of 3 weeks. At that point, we also have another COVID-19 test in Koforidua, and that will be done for the year for now.
Meanwhile, Dreams FC, who officially began training on Monday, say they are good to go when it comes to the protocols. Here is their head coach, Winfred Dormon.
Of course, they have to make sure they come in their face masks. We have the Veronica buckets, the soaps that they have to wash their hands, the sanitizers, and everything that has to do so far as the protocol is concerned. We are following it with all the discipline that comes with it.
The Ghana Premier League officially begins on November 13. Now, away from that, three-time champion Serena Williams has withdrawn from the French Open because of an Achilles injury. The 39-year-old had been scheduled to play her second-round match against Bulgaria's Svetlana Pironkova on Wednesday. The American has won 23 Grand Slam titles and was aiming to equal Margaret Court's all-time record of 24. Williams, who won the French Open in 2002, 2013, and 2015, picked up the Achilles problem during her U.S. Open semi-final defeat by Victoria Azarenka earlier this month. And talking about the French Open, Victoria Azarenka has been defeated by Anna Karolina Schmidlova 6-2, 6-2. So she's out of the tournament. Elena Svitolina is through to the next stage after beating Renata Zarazua 6-3, love 6, 6-2. Corey Goff is currently playing against Martina Trevisan.
And Baba with sports there. Of course, let's go to the NSMQ contest today that delivered most exciting outcome today. The defeat of the Giants, Fantipim, in the 1-8 state, guess what, by Kumasi Academy, of course, in the National Science and Maths quiz. And, of course, the people who slay the Giants are talking big and happy, looking forward to the next contest.
It feels good to win your first contest in Accra. We've been to trials, we've practiced in our rooms, but it feels good to come on stage and win a contest and be declared the champion. It feels so good.
We feel very, very, very happy.
Meanwhile, another school in the Central Region, Adisadel College, is commiserating with the Fantipim School after their defeat. The Disco Boys spoke to Joy News after they beat Bishop Herman College and the Takwa SHS to qualify to the quarterfinals of the NSMQ.
What should we expect from Adisadel College?
Nothing but the best, as I said earlier. We are here to give of our best, and our seniors have taught us for God is on our side, and we expect nothing but the best from us.
Okay, yeah. Great. Infantipim School lost their contest earlier in the day. We know you guys are maybe healthy rivals. Do you have any message for them?
It's a game. It's a game. You're not always going to win. And it's rather unfortunate that this time the game didn't favor them, and I wish them
well, better luck to the Fantapim boys. The bragging should end, I guess. That's it for Newsnight tonight. My name is Evans Mensah. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Join us on PM Express tonight. We have a very interesting debate on the manifestos when it comes to the health sector. Dr. Madiba Ama, former Communications Minister, and the Deputy Health Minister currently, Dr. Koboy, are my guest. And of course, Dr. Abekan Kruma is a co-host tonight with me as we analyze and break down the manifesto at 9 p.m.